Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. For today's video, we got an article by Bleacher Report titled "One Player Every NBA Team Should Trade This Season." Let me know in the comment section below if there's like one player on your team right now where you're just like, yeah, we could probably let him go or get some assets back for him. Let me know in the comment section below, and let's get going on this, man. First one, we got Jalen Johnson for the Hawks. So when the Hawks drafted Jalen Johnson, I thought they did it kind of as like an insurance policy because they wasn't quite sure like what was going to go on with John Collins, if he was going to go to a different team or whatnot. Because I kind of think of him as like a John Collins type of player. Now that Collins is staying with the team, it looks like, I don't know what that really means for Jalen Johnson. Next, we got Derek White for the Boston Celtics. I mean, quite honestly, like, I think Derek White's like a fine NBA player, and when it comes down to it, having another primary ball handler of the team, like, it's not really like that big a deal. I think it's actually great for the team, and that was a big reason they went out and got like Malcolm Brogdon, because they needed more guys like that. So bringing in Brogdon and getting rid of Derek White, I don't think makes like a ton of sense. But at the same time, too, maybe if you're just like okay with having like Peyton Pritchard, and Malcolm Brogdon off the bench, then you would trade Derek White away and get something back for him. You know, maybe more like position of need. Next, we have Patty Mills with the Brooklyn Nets. No, Patty could stay with the Nets. I don't see no issues with that. Yeah, he's just, especially just with injury concerns with Ben Simmons or Kyrie Irving or, you know, whatever may be going on. Patty Mills is just like a good guy to have on the team just in case. Yeah, I like him on the squad. Mason Plumlee on the Charlotte Hornets. I would be okay with this, and the reason is because I don't want the Hornets making the playoffs, and at this point, it's like, all right, let's just, like, give minutes to guys like, you know, Mark Williams, or, they got the one, Kai Jones on the team. I think JT Thor's on the team, and, you know, going to be tanking, hopefully, for Victor Wembanyama. So, Mason Plumlee is a guy that they brought in, hoping he would have been, like, just, like, a good, solid veteran piece. He was nice on the Pistons, hasn't really been nice since then. We got Kobe White, the Chicago Bulls. Yeah, you can make a case here, and that's because, you know, like, it's good to have Kobe White right now with, like, Lonzo Ball's uncertainty, but when Lonzo is healthy, they have Ayo Downsumu, and they also have Alex Caruso, who I think should be the backup point guard shooting guard of that team, making Kobe White tradable for a position of need. Caris LeVert for the Cleveland Cavaliers. So this one kind of interests me because, I don't know, like, Cavs fans and, like, the organization was, like, so happy to bring Caris LeVert on the team. It looks like right now they're going to start him at small forward, which I don't think is a good option. I think they should go with Isaac Okoro. I do like Caris LeVert, you know, as, like, a bulk scorer off the bench, especially with his injury history. I think it's a good role for him. So, I don't think he necessarily needs to be traded. I just hope that maybe the Cavs use him, you know, in the most correct way possible. Dwight Powell for the Dallas Mavericks. Yeah. They got JaVale McGee at center, which is going to be good for a season or two. You got Dorian Finney-Smith at the 4 spot. The bulk of the bench minutes is going to be going to Christian Wood. You know, Dwight can be... Well, no, actually, they also already have Maxi Kleber, who I think is probably a better, like, 3-and-D type of center next to Christian Wood. So, yeah, Dwight Powell can be traded. Honestly, maybe should go to it... If you actually want to call back to a trade, then maybe some type of Dwight Powell, Derek White type of trade scenario would be good, because I feel like the... Celtics, despite bringing in Blake Griffin, they could use a guy like Dwight Powell until Robert Williams is back from injury. Peyton Watson of the Denver Nuggets. I don't know much about him. He was the 30th pick in the draft. One and done season at UCLA, 3.3 points per game. Okay, yeah. So it looks like we have a project here. maybe that might even be a little bit too generous. But he's not going to find, you know, that development on a team like the Denver Nuggets that are looking to compete. He's just going to be at the end of the bench. Detroit Pistons, Bojan Bogdanovic. I mean, TBD, I guess. You know, if the Pistons get to the trade deadline and it looks like they're not good enough to make the play-in tournament or whatnot, then yeah, you probably trade Bogey away for some type of assets. Now, if the Pistons are looking pretty good, it looks like it'd be a part of the future. The very short-term future, I should say. You know, like the next, like, if you want to sign like another like 2-year contract with the Pistons after, then I would hang on to him. But curious to see what he's all about and everything. I know he's obviously, you know, a great 3-point shooter, but he's also getting up there in age a little bit, so hopefully that doesn't start playing a factor into his game. Golden State Warriors, Patrick Baldwin Jr. Pretty much same song and dance as the Peyton Watson dude. What I will say about Patrick Baldwin Jr. is that if he does want to be patient, he very much does fit into that next window of Kuminga, Moses Moody, James Wiseman. So, yeah, I don't think they got to, like... It depends if Baldwin wants to be patient or not. Houston Rockets, Eric Gordon. I do agree with that to some extent. If you would have asked me before the season started, I guess the season hasn't started yet, but I guess before the actual offseason started, I would have said, yeah, like, Aaron Gordon can be traded away. But I'm not going to lie, I'm liking the young core of the Houston Rockets. I'm loving, Tari Eason, Jabari Smith. And I think it's the same case as the Pistons, where it's like, maybe you don't trade Aaron Gordon right away because maybe the Rockets can sneak into the playoffs or something like that, and Aaron Gordon can be a part of that. Now, if you get to trade deadline, and you're not at where you want as a team, then maybe you look to trade him away. Indiana Pacers, Miles Turner. Been hearing this one forever. I don't know, man. I'm just like, I'm kind of sick of hearing about Miles Turner Pacer trades, if I'm being honest. Like, it seems like they want to keep him there, and if not, he'll be traded eventually. But does he need to be traded? I don't think he needs to be traded. We got the Clippers with Marcus Morris. If anything, I would say the team probably has too many guards on it. And it looks like they're probably going to start Batum again at the 4 spot, who's definitely more like defensive oriented. I kind of like Marcus Morris as like a backup 4 off the team, so I'd say keep him. Los Angeles Lakers, Russell Westbrook. I'm actually going to disagree with this. Because I don't think there's a trade that the Lakers make with Russell Westbrook that's going to make them win the championship. Maybe they'll be a little bit better. In the end of the day, anything can happen with LeBron James. But at the same time, if you trade those 2027, 2029 draft picks, whatever years they are, and you don't win the championship this season, and then now you go into 10 years of irrelevancy because you don't have any draft picks, that's going to sting a lot more than this one season maybe being bad again. I don't know, man. I don't think I'm trading away my future just to get Russell Westbrook off the team. Memphis Grizzlies, Brandon Clark. Disagree with this. Jaren Jackson's got a lot of injury history. I do like Clark's athleticism. I think he's nice around the basket. Got a little bit of a jump shot on him. I think he's one of those high energy, forwards that playoff teams, tend to be better of because. So, yeah, I don't think I would get rid of Clark. Although, yeah, because they also don't got like Kyle Anderson or nothing. Yeah, I'm keeping Brandon Clark. Duncan Robinson and Sweeteners. So I was watching the Heat preseason game the other night, and Duncan Robinson was moving very nicely, man. Like, he was actually moving the ball on the floor and everything, and I think with having, Tyler Hero and Max Strus and a lot of sharpshooters like that on the team, then maybe there isn't really room for Duncan Robinson. I don't see Duncan playing the 4 spot. I just don't think that's good for him, especially defensively speaking. And actually, Jovic was looking pretty solid. So I'm not saying Robinson's a bad player. I just don't know if his fit with the Heat is needed anymore. But it's going to be tough with that contract. Like, he got paid to shoot, and he can still do that, but it's still a lot of money, $90 million. George Hill, the Milwaukee Bucks. I mean, he's like 90 at this point, so I think having George Hill on your team ain't going to be a bad thing. T-Wolves, Naz Reid. Naz Reid, since he's entered the NBA, I always said he was kind of like, I don't know, man, like, I see him, obviously not as good, but as, like, the type of skill set that Jokic has, and that's just, like, a guard, essentially, in a center's body, and, I like him playing next to Cat, I like him playing next to Gobert, I think they should keep him. I mean, yeah, there's other players on the team now and everything, but I like Naz Reid. Keep him around. Devontae Graham for the Pelicans. Looking decent in the preseason. If he had like a 20-point game, if he can become like, if he can like be like a good, decently efficient, which has not been the strong point of his game, type of like backup point guard, I think that's fine for the Pelicans. But at the same time, like, they're running CJ at the point guard spot. They have Dyson Daniels, who I think they should be developing anyway. So I say Devontae could be traded, and that's mainly so they could, Dyson Daniels, do some things with him. Yeah, Kira Lewis still on the team too. I'm cool with it. Jose Alvarado, okay. Cam Reddish for the Knicks. Give it till the trade deadline. I want to see what he does until the trade deadline. I think he'll be okay though. I think he sticks around. David Nwaba for the OKC Thunder. Yeah, athletic, defensive-based type of player. Can run in transition. That's fine. He can go to a championship contending team and be like the 12th man. Terrence Ross for the Magic. Yes, for like 2 or 3 seasons now. So many guards on that team as is, and Terrence Ross can help out a contender right now, and they can get something back for him. Jaden Springer for the 76ers. So, yeah, Jaden Springer I was kind of high on a little bit. I don't know if he's ever going to get like a huge chance in the short term on the 76ers, so going to a team that, has time for a little bit more of a project. I think could be a good shake-up for him. Phoenix Suns, Jay Crowder, for obvious reasons. Portland Trailblazers, Keon Johnson. So I think Keon actually just got like an extension with the Portland Trailblazers, which indicates they're probably going to be interested in him. But once again, I don't know. I feel like Keon Johnson is like a Hamidou Diallo type of player. Just another athletic wing player that can do some different things. Never going to kill the stat sheet, but can maybe do all the dirty work. Rashawn Holmes for the Sacramento Kings. I don't mind him being the backup center for the Kings if he can embrace that role. I think that would be kind of good, playing next to either Sabonis or Murray, depending on the lineup. So, but, if you want, especially if he doesn't really want that role on the team, then finding a more traditional backup type of player that will be okay at that role will be a bit better, I guess. San Antonio Spurs, anyone born between 1997? Yeah, they going for Victor, man. The tank is real. The tank is real. Toronto Raptors, Malachi Flynn. Seems Raptor fans are really into Flynn, and seems like the management is. I don't really see them getting rid of Malachi anytime soon. I think he does a good job as a backup point guard. I'm cool with it. I don't really see any reason for him to for him to be gone. Said he had 0 field goals and 0 points for the Toronto's first round loss to the Philadelphia 76ers. I mean, that's not great, but at the same time, it's one series. I'm not going to judge his whole man's career based off one series. Jordan Clarkson for the Utah Jazz. Yeah, they're in a full-on Victor Wembanyama rebuild, or Scoot Henderson. Washington Wizards, Will Barton. A little confused when they got him in the first place, trading away KCP for Will Barton. I thought by trading away KCP, they were going to free up, more minutes for guys like Danny Avila, or Advia, I should say, Rui Hachimura. They also got, what's the rookie's man, Johnny Davis. So, yeah, I can see Will Barton being traded. What you all think, man? But that's all we got for this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out, my friends.